issue of the year by far related to mortgage foreclosure and foreclosure rescue scams. In 2009, Idaho foreclosures increased by 89% compared to 2008. Loan modification was the #1 complaint category in 2009. This category had never previously been in the top 10. We received reports of outrageous fraud. Some of these operators took advantage of desperate homeowners by charging hundreds, even thousands of dollars in upfront fees and then doing nothing to modify the mortgage. We responded aggressively, pursuing several enforcement actions against deceptive loan modification companies, hiring a part-time housing counselor, and publishing 2 free consumer handbooks. We also worked hard with loan servicers to facilitate loan modifications and to reverse, postpone, or cancel foreclosures. We investigated several hundred complaints against 10 modification and foreclosure rescue consultants. We filed consumer protection lawsuits against 2 mortgage modification and foreclosure rescue consultants, entered into settlement agreements with 3 mortgage modification and foreclosure rescue consultants, and recovered more than $60,000 in restitution for consumers related to mortgage modification and foreclosure rescue and other housing complaints. We published 2 new manuals, Foreclosure Prevention and Foreclosure Scams, How to Tell the Difference, and we also published a new manual entitled Buying a Home. We then also updated the existing landlord and tenant guidelines. All of these are available free and also on my office website. We also produced public service announcements regarding foreclosure prevention, buying a home, and tenants' rights when their landlord is foreclosed. These spots are airing on radio and TV stations statewide through March 31st. Through our enforcement actions, the consumer staff recovered a record $7,431,388 in restitution for Idaho consumers last year. This equates to $12.14 recovered for each taxpayer dollar appropriated for consumer operations, and extends to 19 years our record of recovering more money than we receive from the general fund. We also recovered nearly $6 million in civil penalties, fees, and costs, which is another record. Those amounts do not include the nearly $31 million the state received in 2009 pursuant to the tobacco settlement agreement negotiated between the Office of the Attorney General and tobacco manufacturers in 1998. To date, the state has received more than $250 million from the tobacco settlement. I want to mention one other record set in 2009, and that is our settlement with Eli Lilly and Company regarding alleged deceptive marketing practices and failure to warn healthcare providers of serious side effects involving the drug Zyprexa. The $13 million recovery is our largest financial recovery under the Consumer Protection Act other than the tobacco settlement. We had a number of other successes last year as well, involving dollar amounts large and small, and businesses both inside and outside of Idaho. They are detailed in the written report that I think you have. Although the 13 people in our Consumer Protection Division brought in $44 million for Idaho consumers and the state last year, we spent only $833,000 on consumer operations. I can't tell you how proud I am of these people and all the staff in my office. Like everyone else in state government, they are personally feeling the sting of budget cuts. But despite their loss of income due to furloughs, they still show up every day, and usually they have a smile on their face and fight as hard as they can for Idaho consumers. As I mentioned to the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee earlier this month, when times get hard, the amount of legal work increases. Last year, we received nearly 1,900 consumer complaints. That's an 11% increase. Idaho consumers reported losses of $2.25 million. We mediated more than 1,200 of those complaints, and as a result, recovered more than $175,000 for individual Idaho consumers. In addition, we assisted Idaho consumers who made more than 14,000 other contacts with us. In those contacts, we provided them information received information from consumers about potential scams, and responded to consumers' inquiries about specific businesses. We've had an extremely productive year, and as I've described, this very small and dedicated staff has delivered tremendous results for Idaho consumers and taxpayers.